Hello, me and my koalas. Hey, I did take I did take that journey via Google Earth to Australia last night. I think it was last night. Anyway, I went to and I looked up. I thought I was looking up the Australia Opera House. What I was looking up was the Australia. Um, Excuse me, I'll back up. I thought I was looking for their amphitheater. What I was looking for was the Opera House, which was cool because I got to get as close as you can on Google Earth, but I was close enough to see the signs on the placards for the playbills. So Le Bohème was playing, Le Bohème, and something about the Beatles. Anyway, that was at that time. I don't know when exactly that was taken. I also went and I did a flyover of Australia Zoo, and I think I could make out the Crocoseum. But that was kind of fun. I can get a picture of my house just by, doing a street view. Um, but, you know, I mean, that's fun to do for me. But, I mean, it is cool. I mean, I punched in my parents' address, and they've got they live on a country road, way out on a country road, but they've given them down in Kansas now. They've given them, like addresses. There's a 7th Road, but they actually have a house number, and so anyway, I was able to find theirs that way. It just looks as clear as a bell. Anyway, but that was just fun. That was just fun for me. And tomorrow, my granddaughter comes over to help clean to get ready for our kids' Christmas on Sunday. Because we're having dinner with our children and their children, all of our grandchildren, on Sunday. We've been doing it that way the last several years. We also we changed our tradition of exchanging gifts to exchanging stockings. We do stockings for all our kids and grandkids, and sometimes the stocking stuffer's a little big, but generally that's for the little ones. Because most of them, they prefer to have some money, which is fine these days. I can't guess what they need or want. It's better than having them have to return a bunch of stuff. But it's just it leaves so much more time just for talking, being a family. And when we do get to the stockings, the kids all dump their candy out. That's why we give each one of our children gets a new basket every year so that they can pour all their stuff into something and to take it home, so that all of they've got something to carry. I mean, even though there's things in there. This year I'm going to put in some fake tattoos. They're the expressions or the emoticons, the happy face, sad face, all of that. So that, and they're like this big. They're 2 inches, and so they'll be able to. And I'm going to put some in ours too. So anyway, we'll be sticking those on everybody. That'll be fun. But hey, they do it, so I don't see any problem. And they do wash off. Anyway, did have a young man asked if this picture behind me on the wall is my husband's and my wedding picture. But no, it's not. That is my daughter and her husband's wedding picture from 25 years ago. Now, if that tells you anything. My husband and I have been married 40 years. She was from a first marriage, so don't do the math there. You just figure it out. But anyway, Um, my husband raised her, so never mind. We won't get into all that. But anyway, we are a happy family most of the time, like any family. And, well, I mean, most of the time, like any family. Most families have a few little, misunderstandings here and there, but we plan on having a very wonderful, very happy Christmas. And there'll be a few birthday presents open because we have some Christmas birthdays. So Mr. Koala and I are going to read a story, but today it's a little bit shorter, and it's a different story completely, well, of course, but I mean it's a different theme. Of course, you can't make fish eye soup very much. This is called The Christmas of Three Trees. Why we decided to have so many trees at Christmas, I don't know. No matter, we ended up with one scrawny one. The first tree, our usual fiber optic artificial, we loaded with glittery Christmas balls of blue, green, red, white, and any color we wanted. The bright filaments of light reflected color throughout the living room. In one corner of the dining room, we put up a 5-foot pine, which we just decorated on with our traditional way of using a star on the top, and then we hung homemade ornaments from generations of my family. There were beaded bells, crocheted candy canes, painted Christmas mice, and just oodles more from a whole 3 generations of my family. Anyway, the final tree would remind you of a Charlie Brown scrawny tree. It was a little crooked. We decorated it with lights that it would hold and still stand up. I filled it with oodles of plastic candy canes and stapled the top to the wall to keep it standing. A paper angel with glitter hid the affixed top of the evergreen. I did forget to mention we cut the scrawny little evergreen from a sapling in my parents' pasture. We developed a tradition of stockings, and sometimes the stuffers didn't fit inside. Everyone arrived and remarked how cheerful the house looked. They looked at their stockings under the tree, but the grandchildren knew not to touch them until after dinner. Our kids each brought something for my husband's and my stockings, and the festivities began. As the 18 members filled our small house, the smells of turkey ham, apple and cherry pies, and of course the usual pumpkin pie filled the house. I heard the first yell, "Get in here and get those stockings moved. The tree is shorting out and one stocking is scorched," my husband demanded sternly. The rush to the tree almost knocked it over as the man of the house struggled to unplug it. Christmas balls fell all over the floor and shattered. My fear of broken glass filled me with anxiety, and I screamed at all the children to stay away from it. After only 20 minutes, which seemed like an hour, the whole mess was gone. The stockings and gifts were saved and moved to the pine tree, full of homemade ornaments. "Help," my daughter called. "What now?" I asked through my frustration and at the interruption. Needles are falling all over the floor. The tree is bare. Another tree, undecorated, and sent out the door with only a scrawny little sapling left. The homemade ornaments we taped to the wall around it to make it appear larger. Tinseled and filled with light from the color wheel, now removed from the original filament tree, saved the poor final cedar from extinguishing our celebration. Not one guest complained. The event became like a game. The table for the feast glowed with candles and reflections off the tinsel. A poster-sized picture now overtakes the spot where we stapled the paper angel atop the bright little tree. Once everyone explored their Christmas stockings, we all mused at the humble little tree as my husband read the story of our Savior born in an animal barn. This story is a result of a dream that I had. I dream vividly. But anyway, I had this dream one time. And, of course, I had to, fiddle with it a little because dreams aren't real known for being real logical. But it was a strong one. And I just enjoyed it. And I thought, that's got to be a story. So that is the story of the Christmas of Three Trees. So never be sorry if you have a humble little tree, because Jesus was born in a barn. And I've had that constantly running. So what I will do for my dear friend is I will post a picture of my husband and myself. I don't think it'll be our wedding picture, because it's kind of stuck to the frame, and I'm not sure where it's packed away. Maybe I'll find one in a photo book, though, because it is quite the 70s style. Anyway, and I'll chat with you as soon as I get back. Okay, I've tried putting it up against something and it doesn't work, but a friend of mine on YouTube asked if the picture that you've been seeing on the wall behind me is my wedding picture with my husband. And no, that is my daughter's wedding picture with her and her husband. This is from back in the 70s. I tried holding it up against a white piece of paper so that it would, but I couldn't seem to keep it together. And I'm holding it against me because I just shake so bad. But anyway, hopefully my breathing won't distort it too bad. Anyway, we're very 70s style. And that's my husband and I. The man in the back is our minister. He was such a sweet guy. He's been gone for many years, and I cannot bring his name to the front of my brain. But this little eyelet lace dress I found in a store on a closeout. We weren't rich. And they had this little lacy hat. It just went perfectly. And he had hair. He had hair. Joe had hair, everybody. He had a nice head of hair. But anyway, this is what my wedding picture looks like. So I will have to check this video to see how it looks, but there you go. I hope that you have a wonderful evening, and I want you to remember one thing. we are all fearfully and wonderfully made. Good night.